we are now live at Adam Gumba TV, and this evening I'll be sharing to you my personal lesson plans regarding regarding with the topic English, and I have my personal lesson plans here, and I'll be sharing this to you right now. Okay, and I hope you will get a you can get some information from this. And the, my first lesson plan would be about what is this? Let me read this to you, okay? And this lesson plan is actually the 4A's technique. And if you want the actual, we call this, if you want the actual lesson plan, I can email this to you. You can drop down your email on the comment section, and I'll be sending this um, lesson plan to you. Okay, I'll be reading this one to you, my semi-detailed lesson plan, and this is actually for yes, let me read this to you. Okay, year and section you can this is for Biz Ed English 1A, time 1 hour, semester term, second semester, first term, and this was dated February 19, 2021. And first and foremost, our learning objectives, that would be at the end of a 1 hour period, at least 90% of students with 90% proficiency, students shall be able to. It is very important, guys, to put a put the description or how much is the percentage that you're actually aiming to attain at the end of the discussion. So we need to be specific. Okay. The end of the yeah, students shall be able to identify the different forms of communications: verbal, non-verbal, and written communications. Second one is to create a minute video presentation introducing themselves with the use of verbal communications. Third one is appreciate the importance of having the forms of communication in real life situation. And this is actually this learning objectives, guys, follow a the KSA, the knowledge, skills, and the effective. And the subject matter topic is forms of communications: verbal, non-verbal, and written communications. Our references would be Baradillo et al. 2018, Purposive Communication, Mutia Publishing House Incorporated, page 1525. And Madronio, MR, and Martin IP, 2018, Purposive Communication Using English in Multilingual Context, CNE Publishing Incorporated. Quezon City. The materials that I've used is actually laptop, PowerPoint, internet, and Google Meet application. And of course, we need to put our learning competency. That would be number 4. Number 1, letter A, describe the nature, elements, and functions of verbal, non-verbal communication in various and multicultural contexts. Second is convey ideas through oral, audiovisual, and or web-based presentations for different target audiences in local and global settings. using appropriate registers. Third one is adapt cultural and intercultural awareness and sensitivity in expressing ideas in order to avoid conflicts in communications. Um, Number four, our fourth one is express appreciation of the impact of communication on society and the world by confidently discussing its effects on societal relationships. And we are actually on the third section now for our learning procedure. This is actually during the discussion already. So in learning our learning procedures, there should be a preliminary activities where this activity is actually conducted or will be conducted before prior to the lesson proper. So we have first prayer, greetings, and virtual class management. It is very important to have the prayer so that your virtual classroom will not be threatening. So it's very important to include prayer, and we should always put God first. And next is we need to have our motivational activity. So during my prior to the lesson, there should be motivational activity. This one is actually an activity that I prepared. This is actually instruction. I will read this to you. The teacher will ask the following questions in order to build participation. So it is actually your motivational activity should always be related to what is your topic in that certain period. So it needs to have a relationship. How often these questions are: how often do you communicate with your friends? How did you communicate with them? Verbally, in person, or written through online chats? That would be our questions, because as I mentioned earlier, our topic is actually all about forms of communications: verbal, non-verbal, and written communications. So these questions are actually related to our topic itself. And there you go, our lesson proper. So I will so basically, guys, as you can see, our activity, the teacher will present a series of pictures that are related to forms of communication, and these are the pictures. So second one, the teacher will ask for volunteers to identify whether the picture is a form of verbal, non-verbal, or written communication. As you can see, guys, the pictures, as you observe, the first picture is an email, and try to ask them what kind of communications that the picture shows. And yep, an email is actually a form of written communication. Yep, it's under written communication. Second one is the emojis. Try to ask that one to them. What type of form of communication is that? And emoji is actually a non-verbal communication. Third one is actually phone calls. You can see in the as you can see in the picture, it is actually phones. And yep, phone calls is actually a form of verbal communications. Let's continue. And the after you have your activity, so we already have done our first A from our 4A's form of lesson plan. And under the analysis, uh, prepare, or I mean, this description tells what you should do in your analysis. Okay, the teacher will ask about what are the common among the pictures. So try to ask them, let them compare, or yeah, let them observe what are the common among the pictures being presented. And after that question is, the teacher asks the volunteers how they identify such pictures. So you need to ask them how they come up with that kind of realizations, or how they they identify that kind of picture. Is it in a form of written, nonverbal, or verbal communications? Try to ask that one too. And the third question would the third one is, the teacher will verify if their answers are correct or not. So you need, after the series of questions, you need to correct them or give a scaffolding to what is actually the correct answers to that pictures. And during our abstractions, yes, and under our abstractions, we have this abstraction is actually the this is our third A from our 4A. So in the abstraction, it is actually the lesson proper, where you are actually lecturing the, I mean, yeah, presenting the topic itself. And it is very important because you need to involve them in the abstraction. It is not actually focusing merely on the teacher, or the, it is not a teacher centered. It should be a learner centered. You need to let them involve in the abstraction. So first one is that the teacher introduced the forms of communication to the class. The teacher will discuss first what communication is and proceed on its forms. The teacher will explain the general principles of effective communication and the principles of effective oral verbal communication. The teacher will go back to the pictures and ask someone why such picture is being labeled as verbal, non-verbal, or written communication. So after you have discussed your topic during the abstractions, you need to go back to the pictures. So they have already, I mean, since they have already understand, or you have actually delivered the topic to the class already, so you need to go back to the picture and let them realize what is actually correct, and how should actually those pictures be labeled correctly. Okay, and and the applications, this is actually our 4A in our 4A's lesson plan. And instructions, in the applications, you need to create an activity also, I mean, activity 2, that yeah, that will be able, that will be, I mean, that will be able to apply what they have learned. So this question is, answer the following questions. Limit your answer in 3 sentences only. After 5 minutes, you should send your answer in the comment section. So this is actually a Google Meet virtual classroom. So in order to avoid delays, or yep, in order to, what do we call this one, to have a time bounded, so you need to limit the time. You need to have the specific time, so 5 minutes. 5 minutes is okay. And the question is actually, which among the forms of communication is the most important for you. Why and why? I mean, yeah. And you need also to present or to give the scoring protocols or the criteria for the scoring. Yep, it is very important so that they have the guide of how they are going to write their answers. So you need to create the scoring protocols for them. Okay, so the scoring protocols would be grammar and mechanics. You can put 5 points there, or you can put 7 points, or 8 points. It depends to you. And the second category is actually the relevance, and I put 5 points there. Yeah, five for the grammar mechanics, and five for the relevance. And yeah, that would be a total of 10 points. And there, after you have, what do you call this one? After you have let them apply the content, you let them apply to the how should a certain lessons apply to real life situation. So we already here in the assessment. So after they have, yeah, after from the applications, you need to assess them how far they have understand the topic. So yes, and assessment. So you can put in the instruction, create at least 5 minute video presentation, not exceeding 2 minutes, introducing yourselves with the use of verbal communication, and send it to our group chat. The video should be in a half body portrait. Scoring protocols: voice and confidence, 5 points; clarity of voice, diction, eye contact, 5 points, a total of 10 points. So this is actually the integrates ICT. Yeah, and you can maximize also the interest of your learners. Your learners actually, what do you call this? Yeah, most 21st century learners actually are very acquainted with the digital world. So they are actually good in editing. Yeah, you can make use of that one. And you can also let them post it to the social media if you want to, boost their confidence somehow. And let them, you need to know, or you let them decide which prefer to them. Okay, and if they say that it's okay to post it in social media, then why not? It would be quite interesting and engaging too. And there, if you wanted to have this, if you wanted to have a copy of this, you can email me, or you can comment down your email address, and I'll be sending that one to you. And next one, I'll be sharing to you my next lesson plan. And this is my lesson. And this is my other lesson plan, and if you wanted to have a copy for this, I can give this one to you. I will let you see this. Okay? Ito. And we are left, and so for the intermittent connection. And there, where did we stop? There. And second semester second semester, and date February 26, 2021. And our learning objectives for today is actually, yep, one moment. Objectives would be at the end of a 1 hour period, at least 90% of students with 90% proficiency, students shall be able to, that in our knowledge, that would be define what is communication ethics. Skills, create a tagline that promotes ethical communication. And the third one, for the effective, internalize the values and ethical considerations on communications to demonstrate openness, respect to cultural diversity. That would be our learning objectives. That is following the KSA, knowledge, skills, and effective. Knowledge, that would be for the cognitive domain. Skills, that would be for the psychomotor, and the affective domain. And the topic is our subject matter. Then under the one is our topic, communication ethics. And references, where we got references here. I will just not read that to you. I will just read one. First one is the Baradillo et al. 2018, Purposive Communication, Mutya Publishing House, Incorporated, page 35 to 39. Materials, laptop, PowerPoint, Internet, Google Meet applications. And then number 4, that would be for learning competencies. So we need to have our learning competencies. And one, cultural and intercultural sensitivity in expressing ideas in order to avoid conflicts in communication. Adopt cultural and intercultural awareness and sensitivity in expressing ideas in order to avoid conflicts in communication. And learning procedures. Under my preliminary activities, the same as the other one: prayer, greetings, and virtual class management. In my motivational activity, the teacher will ask the following questions in order to build participations. Okay? The first one is what you should do when someone's talking about his personal beliefs. Would you accept his her perspective in which she only basing on her cultural influence? There, you can ask the one. This motivational activities actually steer the mind of your students prior to the lesson proper. So they it is a other term from this, from what is your actual topic. So now on the lesson proper. So let's proceed to the lesson proper. In our activity, the teacher will present a 1-minute video to the class, and there. And the second one, after you have presented the video, after the video presentation, the teacher will let the students examine the video and will ask a volunteer what is the video all about. So after you have presented the video, I have actually a link put here. There. And if you have the physical lesson plan already, you can search or you can copy paste the link that I've provided here. So after the video presentation, the teacher will, you let them, you ask them what is the video all about, And under the analysis, we are down to our second A, and that is word analysis. So the teacher will throw follow-up questions, and this question are, what do you think is wrong with the situation? And next one is sending emails appropriate in seeking an urgent help? Next one is, what do you think are ethical and unethical dates in the scenario? So you can use of these questions. And during the abstractions, yep, the teacher will introduce the topic, ethics in communications, and the teacher will define first what communication is and proceed then what is ethics. Third one is the teacher will define what communication ethics is. Fourth one is the teacher will discuss the fundamentals of ethical communication. Fifth, the teacher will introduce the principles of ethical communication and its framework. Sixth, the teacher will discuss the norms for ethical communication listed by Brydon and Scuff, 2008. And the last one, the teacher will start discussing the guidelines for ethical listening. Okay, and there you can, yep, you can follow that question. You can follow that description. And we're down to our last A for the 4A's format. That will be for the application. And in my application, um, you can create an activity to let them apply what they have learned. In one sentence, create a tagline not less than 20 words that promotes ethical communication. After 5 minutes, send it to the comment section. So you can let them create a tagline from what they have understood, or a tagline that promotes ethical communication. So after 5 minutes, send it in the comment section. And you can make use of the scoring protocols too. Originality, 5 points. Grammar mechanics, um, yep, 2 points. Depth, relevance, 3 points. Then a total of 10 points. You can make use of that one. And in the assessment section, yep, instruction, after you have let them apply the topic, you can assess them how far they have learned. Instruction: in not more than 1 minute, answer the following questions via voice audio and send it to our group chat. Make sure your FB name is your real name. Yep. And the question is, as a future teacher, how would you promote ethical communication in your class? You can make use of this scoring protocols too. That would be for originality, attainability, 5 points. Depth and relevance, 5 points. That would be for a total of 10 points. And yeah. And in their assignment, you can just read in advance. You can let them read in advance about computer mediated communications. Well, in the assignment section, yep, make sure that um, you can let them study in advance. That would be okay. And there you go. We are down. We already done in our second lesson plan. And next step, our next lesson plan. There. And there, I will read this to you. This is actually still a semi-detailed lesson plan. And year-end section, previous said English 1A still, or what? Yeah. And time 1 hour period. Semester term, second sem. First term, excuse me, date March 5, 2013. And first one is our learning objectives. I will read this to you. At the end of a 1 hour period, at least 90% of students with 90% proficiency students shall be able to. First one is to determine cultural appropriate terms, expressions, and images. That is for our cognitive section or the knowledge section. And in our psychomotor skills, create a meme integrating awareness of terms, expressions, and images reflecting different cultures. And for our effective, you can, appreciate the importance of the meaning of an expression or images in having effective communication across different cultures. And our subject matter topic that would be for terms, expression, and images reflecting different cultures. And our reference as still Paradillo et al. 2018, Purposive Communication Mutia Publishing House, Incorporated, page 104 and 107. I mean, up to 107. And second one is the Mayhew or 2019, How to Interpret Nonverbal Messages in the Workplace. And I have already, um, I've also put the other references here. You can make use of this too. And materials that I've used: laptop, PowerPoint, internet, Google Meet application. And there you go. Learning competency. First one is explain how cultural and global issues affect communication. Next one is determine culturally appropriate terms, expressions, and images by familiarizing them through series of exposures. And last one is adopt cultural and intercultural awareness and sensitivity in expressing ideas in order to avoid conflicts in communication. And we are now in our learning procedures, so same from the other preliminary activities: prayer, greetings, virtual class, management. That is very important. And we are down to our motivational activity. Instruction: the teacher will ask the following question in order to build participation. So you can make use of these questions. Do you have foreigner friends? You can ask that one. How do you interact with them? Are you conscious of your actions towards them to avoid misunderstanding and conflicts? You can throw that question, since our, what do we call this one? Our topic is actually about, and guys, there. And our lesson proper, so for ACE format. And in our activity, the teacher will present two hand gesture pictures. So in my you can make use of a picture, a hand gestures, like yeah, you can search that one in the Google, or in the internet, of any hand gestures that conveys meaning. And next one, after you have present two hand gestures, the teacher will ask the students what does the hand gesture means. So you can ask them what does the hand gesture convey. Then the teacher will explain the meaning of the gestures in various cultures. So although you have the two hand gestures, you explain what is actually the meaning of that gestures with regards to different cultures, because every hand gestures is actually has a different meaning when you are in different countries. For example, there is actually here in the Philippines actually a sign of um, agreeing to someone's um, request or someone's idea. But in the other country, I forgot what is actually the country's name. But nodding for them is actually a what do you call this one is very humiliating. I forgot what is actually the meaning of that, but it's kind of humiliating. But what I'm trying to say is actually, if you are actually in in other country, what you have known in your country is actually different from the other country. So that is actually culture meanings. I mean, that is actually um, I mean, they also a certain gestures is has actually different meanings if you are in a different cultures, in a different culture. And there you go. And in your analysis, you can make use of this one. The teacher will throw follow-up questions, so it is actually related to your uh, questions earlier or your task earlier. So you throw follow-up questions, and these questions are: why do we need to know the meanings of a symbol or gestures in communication? So you can let them brainstorm or first ask for a volunteer to answer this kind of question. And that is kind of engaging activity. And next one is, why do you think the meaning of the same image changes in other culture? There you go. And as what I said earlier, the same gestures but different meanings in other country or in other culture. So, yep, you can ask that one too. And there you go. In the abstraction, sorry, the teacher will introduce the topic, terms, expressions, and images reflecting different cultures. Second one is the teacher will explain the linguistic landscapes and its examples. Next one is the teacher will define what geosemiotics means and its principles. So don't worry, that terms is actually already prepared in my PowerPoint. So if you will ask the physical lesson plan, I will also give to you the PowerPoint presentation, so you can have a reference to or how you are going to discuss your this topic. Okay. Next one is the teacher will define. Yep. The teacher will introduce the different kinds of signs and its examples. Next, the teacher will explain what is online landscapes and its examples. Next is the teacher will introduce major keys in understanding each other. And next is the teacher will explain what cultural ignorance is and how it affects communication. And the next is the teacher will explain the guidelines in evaluating messages and images reflecting different cultures. So yeah. And in the application, communication, yep, you can follow this instruction how we should avoid misunderstanding across different culture. Limit your answer into 3 sentences only. So make sure your sentences is actually um, has a terminal or has a specific what do you call this one, description of how many sentences they were going to make to avoid a delays in your discussion. And yeah, it should be time bounded there. And you can you can follow the scoring protocols, grammar mechanics 3 points, depth relevance 8 points, a total of 10 points. And in the assessments section, instruction, so after you have let them apply, you assess them how far they have understand your topic at that day. Okay. And instruction, create a meme that integrates awareness of terms, expression or images reflecting different cultures. Post it on Facebook. Post it on Facebook publicly, excuse me, and tag me or tag yourself. Submit it until Saturday 5 p.m. So also if you if you if your um, if your activity is actually time consuming, so you can let them finish that one. You can give them more time since this is actually a meme, so you need to give them more time to create a meme. And this is actually fun and engaging since you let them you will be able to make them a memer, or yeah, a meme maker. Yeah, and it's actually quite funny and engaging too. And there I'm so handsome, even if I did not get my haircut yet. Shoot. And then and their assignment. Hello to our viewer. We have a special viewer there. And there in their assignment section, you can let them read in advance about evaluating messages of different types of text across cultures. So this reading in advance activity is actually uh, this is your topic in your next session. Okay, so in order to have a more fluent discussion, an effective discussion, a sound discussion, you can let them study in advance about your next topic. And that would be it, our topic. And excuse for a while, I'll be taking a break. Hold on. to my YouTube channel. This is Adam Gumba, and there I'll be continuing sharing to you my other lesson plans. And there, that would be for our lesson plan for terms, expression, and images reflecting different cultures. And just comment below your email address, and I'll be sending that one to you. Okay? And there, terms, expressions, different cultures. And next one, let's proceed to the and there. Next one, we have topic 4, local and global communication and multicultural settings. Hold on. Yep, this would be it. And there, I'll be sharing this one to you, and make sure you listen there. And there, this is a semi detailed lesson plan. Year and section B said English 1A. Time 1 hour period. Semester term second sem first term. Date March 12, 2001. And our learning objectives would be at the end of a 1 hour period, at least 90% of students with 90% proficiency students shall be able to first one, for our knowledge, define the nature and scope of local and global communication, as well as the intercultural communication and its various forms. And our skills, we have create a minute video by animating the crafted hero in promoting their advocacy for local and global communication in multicultural settings. And for our effective listening, demonstrate awareness and competence on intercultural communication. There you go. And for our subject matter, our topic is about local and global communication in multicultural setting. And my references, para Diliwet of 2018 Purposive Communication, Mutya Publishing House Incorporated, page 111 and up to 115. And the second one is Madronio MR and Martin IP 2018 Purposive Communication using English in multicultural context, C&E Publishing Incorporated, Quezon City. Materials that I use is laptop, PowerPoint, internet, and Google Meet application. And there you go. So it is very important to include our learning competency. First one is adapt cultural and intercultural awareness and sensitivity in expressing ideas in order to avoid conflicts in communication. Design clear, coherent, and effective communication materials that help facilitate comprehensions of concepts in relation to global communication. And there you go. And our learning procedure, of course, we have preliminary activities, prayer, greetings, and virtual class management. In virtual class management, you can, in order to make make them behave, so you need to impose what do they call this one, authority in speaking, or authority total grasp in your classroom. Okay, and our motivational activities. My nose is aching. I feel sleepy too. And in our motivational activity instruction, the teacher will ask the following question in order to build participation. First one is, who among you here have watched international pageants? That would be for our first question or motivational activity. And the second one is, what have you observed in the Q&A portion? So you can throw that questions from the video that you have presented, and the link will be the you can actually, what we call this one, download any videos, any pageantry videos. Just cut the portion where the Q&A portion. Just cut click there. Make sure that they are actually using an interpreters, or the candidate is actually using different language in answering the question, so that they will have a reference of the different communication or different languages, and that would be related to your topic. And after you have after you make them brainstorm on that certain video, you can start your lesson. And our first A would be the activity. And in the activity, teacher the teacher will present a video of Miss Universe Q&A portion, where the candidate uses interpreter in answering the question. That would be our number one question. And the second question is, the teacher will ask the 4 volunteers to explain what was the video all about. So you can ask them what is the video all about. And on your analysis, our second A, the teacher will ask follow-up questions. And these questions are, why does the event consider interpreters? So you can let them elaborate why the event uses interpreters. And just a heads up, and interpreters is actually good for translating a certain language. And we know that most candidates, or some of the candidates, are actually using their native language, so we need to have an English translator. So in doing so, the gap between the global communication will be addressed. And then in the second one, you can throw follow-up question like this: how can you connect communication and globalization with regards to the video? There you can let them connect what is actually communication and globalization with regards to the video. So any idea will do. Just don't make them regret what they will answer, or what their answer is, because it will threaten them to their future class, or to their participation in their future classes. Their instances are, they will not participate anymore in your succeeding lessons, because they will feel threatened and scared if you will correct them right away. So technique is let them let them discover what is actually the correct one. Later on, um, after the discussion, they will realize that their answer is actually wrong, and they will correct that one. Never ever correct them right away after they have shared their answers, because um, they will feel ashamed with their answers, and they will get anxious with themselves. And, instead, give them a reinforcement words, or you can motivate them by saying, "Oh, that's great, that's good, but I need other answers." But there is actually specific answer. That is correct. But there is actually an specific. I mean, there is actually specific answers. Answer to this. Thank you for sharing your answer. That is actually a good feedback. That is another term of saying your answer is wrong. I need other answers. Yes. So you can use that technique too. And there, the teacher will present the topic outline. The teacher will explain the nature and scope of where do we at? Yep, we are actually on the still on the analysis, and the next one is what have you realized after seeing the video. So ask them what they have realized, and yeah, and we are down to our abstractions. This will be our third A for our 4A's format. In the abstraction, the teacher will introduce the topic, local and global communication in multicultural setting. The teacher will present the topic outline. The teacher will explain the nature and scope of local and global communication. The teacher will explain the nature and scope of local and global communication. Sorry. And next one is the teacher will define intercultural communication and its form. The teacher will identify concepts and understanding other people across culture. And the last one is the teacher will explore cultural dialectics. And don't worry, I've already put the one in my PowerPoint presentation. And I will also include the one if you will ask the physical lesson plan, my physical lesson plan. Okay, and there you go. In the application section, since you have already discussed your topic, you can make use of this. And I let them create a hero name where each letter stands for your unique stance in advocating local and global communication and multicultural setting. And after 5 minutes, send it to the comment section. Yep, this is actually quite engaging activity. For example, Adaku, Adaku, Adaku. That is my name, my hero name. And A stands for analyzing everyone's discourse before responding. D stands for develops good language. A stands for acquisition for better. K for knowing and understanding. So I will read this to you. Yeah. Adaku stands for analyzing everyone's discourse before responding. Develops good language acquisition for better knowing and understanding. There you go. You can make use of this activity, and it is quite fun and engaging. Scoring protocols. There you go. Uniqueness, 5 points. Grammar relevance, 5 points. Total of 10 points. And there you go. We are down to our assessment. And yeah, our assessment would be this assessment called I Am a Hero. So our instruction would be in less than 1 minute. Animate your hero, be like your hero, and record yourself speaking your advocacy in promoting local and global communication in multicultural setting. Submit it until 12 midnight. Oh. And this is actually related to the what do you call this, your application. Since your application is actually, you let them create the hero and create a stance in create your stance or create their stance. If you let them create their stance, then what do you call this one, giving a stance on every letter of their hero name. For example, Adaku, A stands for so on and so forth. And thereafter they have create their hero. You let them, as an assessment, you let them what do you call this one, animate their hero. Okay, and that would be quite a fun activity. And in the assignment, yeah, as my technique, I'm actually focusing on my technique. And if you let them create an assignment that that is, I mean, that would an assignment or activity as an assignment, then you can make use of the one too. But in my technique, so because I will not let them, I will still consider their personal time, and I will not let them. I will put. I will not put any burden to them, so I will just let them read in advance about your next topic, and that would be for reading in advance about cultural and global issues affecting communications. And there you go. We are down. We are done with sharing my personal lesson plan about the topic local and global communication in multicultural setting. That would be it. And next one, I'll be sharing to you our last lesson plan for today's video. This would be for King Tutu. There you go. This is actually for the second year college students. Still a semi-detailed lesson plan, and there I'll be sharing this to you too. Let me read this one. Year and section, DS Ed English 2A. Time 1 hour. Semester term, second sem and first term. Date March 5, 2021. Learning objectives at the end of 1 hour period. At least 85% of students with 85 proficiency students shall be able to distinguish the full intent of the implementation of bilingual education policy. This is actually for the knowledge level, the cognitive domain section. Next one is to create a tagline that promotes the implementation of bilingual education program in the Philippines. And the third one is exhibits realization towards the gradual development of the Philippine education system. So still the KSA technique, but the KSA format, knowledge, skills, and effective. And our subject matter for this lesson is actually, our topic is actually introduction to basic language programs, policies, and planning, bilingual education policy. And then our references, let me read this to you. The text order 52 to 1987, the 1987 Policy on Bilingual Education, Manila, Department of Education, Culture, and Sports. Next one is the book of Lorienti Beatriz and Tupas Ruwaani, 2014, A New Politics of Language in the Philippines, Bilingual Education and the New Challenge of the Mother Tongue, Access January 8, 2020. I have also provided the link there so you can browse the one in the internet. Just try to comment below if you are interested in this lesson plan. Materials that I've used: laptop, PowerPoint, internet, Google, and Google Meet applications. And there, we are down to our learning competencies. First one is appreciate the efforts of the national government in promulgating laws and language policies that aim to give the country one common language for national identity. Next one is discuss the significance that language policies had and the influence they exercise on social linguistic situations in the Philippines. And look into a few laws relating to language policies by the colonial government. And that would be our learning competencies for this topic. And our learning procedures, we have preliminary activities, same with other lesson plans that I've shared earlier. Prayer, greetings, virtual class management, it is stable. And in our motivational activity, we have here the teacher will ask the following questions in order to build participation. So still questions, throw questions in your motivational activity. This is actually prior to your lesson proper, but it is still related to your lesson, okay? And you can ask these questions: who among you here who love to watch movies? So basically your students actually love to watch movies. You can ask them one, okay? And then they will actually very quick in responding because they are actually into Korean movies like that, anime movies. Yeah. Which do you prefer, the movie that has subtitles or not? Then that would be the questions. And in the lesson proper, this would be our first aid. And then in your activity, the teacher will present two meme pictures, and next is the teacher will ask the students what are their insights toward the pictures. So you can make use of memes. Make sure that there is actually your memes is actually relating to the subtitles, or a meme that has a subtitles, or yeah. Yeah, because this is actually bilingual. Our topic is about bilingual languages. I mean, yeah, bilingual. Let me see. Yeah, bilingual education policy. I mean, then there you go. Yeah. After you have presented the memes, the teacher will ask the students what are their insights towards the pictures. So let them brainstorm about the memes that you have presented. And analysis, the teacher will throw follow-up questions. This is actually related to your activity. And the questions are: have you noticed unusual about the meme images? What can you infer about the struggles being portrayed? I have already prepared the PowerPoint for this, and if you are reading this one, make sure that you also open my PowerPoint presentation. Okay. How can you overcome these struggles? Next one is: what do you think is the problem of this situation? And there you go. You let them share their ideas before what do we call this one, for proceeding to your applications, I mean your abstractions. And we are down to our abstraction. The teacher will introduce the topic, Introduction to Basic Language Program Policies and Planning, Bilingual Education Policy. The teacher will discuss, will explain history of bilingual education program in the Philippines. Next one is the teacher will discuss the several types of bilingual education program models. The fourth one is the teacher will explain the policy recommendation of the language of instruction in the Philippines. And next one is the teacher will dig deeper into the purpose of bilingual education. And the last one is the teacher will also introduce the goals of the bilingual education policy. And right after you have already, what do you call this one, presented, or you are done with your PowerPoint presentation, or you are done discussing your topic, we're now down to our application, and our application is actually in less than 20 words. Less than 20 words. Create a tagline that promotes the implementation of bilingual education programs in the Philippines. So, same with my um, previous lesson plans, but this is actually for the second year college students. And yeah, you can actually make use that one in the other year levels, this type of activity, and it is still actually engaging. And there you go. And you can also make use of these scoring protocols that I prepared in less than 20 words. Create a tagline that promotes the implementation of bilingual. Yeah, I've already read this one. I'm sorry. Scoring protocols, originality, creativity, 7 points. Grammar mechanics, 3 points. A total of 10 points. And yeah, this is actually fun. And there we are done with our 4A's, and we are now proceeding to our assessment. After you have let them apply what is um, your topic all about in the application section, um, you can assess them by giving this activity. Answer the following questions. Answer the following question. Limit your answer in 3 sentences only. And there, why? The question is, why is it necessary to learn English language, where in fact we have our national lingua franca as our medium of communication? There, and it is very easy. Mm. So you can create another scoring protocols if you wanted to. Yeah, you should, because this is actually different. Mm. It is now, this activity is different from the other activity that you have provided in your application section. And the scoring protocols is in-depth relevance, 7 points. Grammar mechanics, 3 points. A total of 10 points. And in your assignment, you can still read in advance about mother tongue based multilingual education, or MTB ML. There you go. And yeah, we are done with our lesson plan on the introduction to basic language programs, policies, and planning bilingual education. Bilingual education policy. And if you wanted a copy of this, I can give this to you. There, that is my physical lesson plan. And if you wanted to have a copy of that, I'm sorry for the quality of my cell phone. And that is my personal lesson plan, and you can make use of that if you wanted the my lesson plan. Hold on. And this. I will let you see the PowerPoints from this lesson plan. Okay. English. There. As you can see here. There. Oh, it's very blur. I can barely see. There, I've already prepared the lesson plan. I mean the PowerPoint presentations. In every lesson plan that I prepared, and if you wanted a copy of this, I can give this one to you. Just comment down. Comment down your email there, and glimpse of what is actually my PowerPoint all about. There, as you can see the one that is my lesson. There, you can make use of this too. Just comment your email and I'll be sharing this to you. Let me see the other one if it's still working. There. Lesson 3, forms of communications. And this is my other PPT, visual communication. Oh, this is actually from my student, not this one. This one. Yeah, this one. I created this one, and I've already attached a video from this. Let me see if it's still working. It is still working. And it's still good. Let me check this. Computer mediated communication. Oh, it's actually from my student group. Let me see. Here. There. The lesson 7, terms and communication expressions. Expression and images reflecting. If you wanted a copy of this, I can give this one to you. Just comment your email below. The last one. You can and I'll be checking my inbox, okay? And thank you so much. This is Adam Gumba and Adam Gumba TV, sharing my personal lesson plans to you, okay? And then thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll be ending this session. See you again in my next vlog. Bye bye.